Have you noticed that the pace of life seems to be steadily picking up lately? It's great to see. Businesses are opening back up again, kids are going back to school, people are going on those trips that they've been putting off. Families and friends are getting together more and more. Weekends are starting to fill up, churches are reopening and regathering. It's wonderful to see. Over the past year, so many things came to a screeching halt. So many of the things that we wanted to do, we just couldn't. But this year, looking back, has given us a really interesting opportunity. It's presented us with what's probably going to be a once-in-a-lifetime chance to just hit the reset button. Our schedules for a while there just got completely cleaned out. All our routines got turned upside down. In fact, I can't think of any time in my life where my habits and routines got so completely flipped upside down as they did in this past year. The whole flurry of activity that I was used to just stopped. It all just stopped. I have always had a really, really hard time stopping. I basically have two speeds: fast, faster. That's it. My wife always just looks at me and says, "I wish you'd just take a nap." She says, "I get tired just looking at you sometimes." There's something in me that makes me feel like I need to be productive with every waking moment of my life. And I think that's true for a lot of us. God knows that stopping is one of the toughest things for us to do. In fact, He's so aware of this that He actually commands His people to stop and rest in the Bible. And He doesn't just command them, flippantly or subtly here or there. It's actually one of the 10 commandments given in the book of Exodus. Let's read it real quick. Let's read Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11. Here's what God says. "Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your livestock, and any foreigners living among you. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in them. But on the seventh day, He rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy." So a biblical Sabbath is a 24-hour period of time in which I cease all work and rest my soul. I rest my mind, I rest my body, I rest my spirit. And God calls this practice holy, which just means it's special, it's set apart, it's different from the other 6 days of the week. This seventh day is something special to God. And look, if you've looked at the Sabbath before, you've read the Bible, I can already hear you saying, "Hey, the Sabbath is part of the Old Testament law, the law of Moses. That doesn't apply to us Christians today." Look, for this video, I'm not really interested in disputing that one way or the other. The question I want to ask today is whether there's something wise and healthy in this practice of Sabbath, this practice of stopping. And I call it a discipline, really, because it's something that doesn't really come that naturally to most of us. We live in a world that rewards productivity, not rest. We live in a world that rewards achievement, not health. And if I'm really honest, and if I really look at my heart, I realize that I work endlessly because deep down, I believe that my hard work is the only thing keeping my life together. The purpose of the discipline of Sabbath is to help us let go of the myth that we are the Almighty and that we have complete power over our lives, that everything's up to us. Because when we believe that lie, we're left feeling empty and exhausted and numb and unhappy and unable to enjoy all the blessings that God provides to us. All the things that can't be worked for. the things we accept as gifts from our Heavenly Father. In Mark chapter 2, there's an interesting passage where Jesus has this confrontation with some Pharisees who are basically just getting after Jesus' disciples for working on the Sabbath, picking a few heads of grain to snack on as they walk down the road. And Jesus basically says, hey, lay off them, guys. And he basically just puts it like this. He says, the Sabbath was made to meet the needs of people, not people to meet the requirements of the Sabbath. In other words, God didn't invent the Sabbath to place a burden on us. It's actually the opposite. God created the Sabbath to help us lay our burdens down, to help us learn to rest instead of just endlessly working and toiling. So by carving out special time to rest and to delight in God's blessings, what I'm really saying is, Heavenly Father, I admit that you are the one in control of my life. I realize that you are the source of all the good things that I enjoy. And I'm trusting that the world will keep right on turning, even if I take a break and rest. I'm trusting that you know best and that you love me. As COVID-19 declines and the world opens back up again, I'm thrilled to see it. I'm so glad. But I also want to be careful because I don't want to slip back into all the same patterns that were hurting me before. I don't want to get back to living the same restless pace of life that I was living before things shut down. I want to use this opportunity. I want to trust in God's wisdom, and I want to learn to rest my soul. So let me just leave you with just this one question. Will you carve out one day per week to rest your soul? No doing laundry, no mowing the lawn, no washing the car, no emails, no schoolwork. Just rest. And by the way, that doesn't mean that you just have to sit and stare at the wall all day or sit and pray all day, although you may choose to do that. What it means is that you spend the day doing the things that you enjoy. You spend the time doing the things that help you appreciate and give thanks for all the blessings that God has given to you. Thanks for watching today. Get some rest.